Korean gods and goddess. The existence of all Korean gods and goddesses, who have persisted for many generations, centuries, and years, have a true center called the cut. The cut represents some rites performed by Korean shamans to gods, spirits, and ancestors. They are characterized by rhythmic movements, songs, oracles, and prayers. These rites are meant to create welfare, promoting commitment between the spirits and humankind. Shamans, called mudong in Korea, are often females and, unlike many other cultures, don't use any substances to communicate with the spiritual world. It is believed that all gods possessed different types of divine authority. It was important, therefore, for Koreans to know the particular divine authority of all the gods. Shoka is a rebellious god in Korean mythology, and along with Myruk, was responsible for the creation of the world. To prove their sovereignty over the world, they created 3 contests. Shoka planted a magnolia flower, and proclaimed that, if the flower grew towards Myruk, the world would be his. When the flower eventually grew towards Myruk, Shoka placed it on his lap. Myruk then brought the world's first death in the world, leading it to exist in an imperfect state. Ultimately, Shoka becomes the first ruler of the world through deceit. The 2 gods face off against each other in duels of supernatural power. This includes such as making a river freeze in midsummer, hitting a bottle of liquor midair, and having the liquor float in the air, even while the bottle shatters and falls. In most of the stories, the moon and sun disappear after the unjust victory of Shoka. The usurper must either destroy the moon or the sun. Havoc is a powerful water god who has power over all sea creatures and the water element. As a water deity, his power over this primordial element can be a blessing to the peoples who ask for his help, but can also be a cruel god for those who treat his without respect. Havoc, it's a benevolent god, a calm and gentle deity, described by a unique beauty, having long dark hair, which shines like a diamond in the sun's rays when it comes out of the depth of the waters. His eyes may be blue or black, wearing a blue cloak like the waves of the sea over his royal vestments. It is said that he goes out on land, taking the physical human form only at a certain time, otherwise, he watches over the people who are around his realm from his underwater palace. Sangjae, god of sky, has many names, as Hanuelnem, Hanuel, the heavenly king, and the god of heaven. He is also referred to as the Korea's version of Zeus, or Odin. Hwananon Sangjae transformed himself from the sky to the land of the shallow sea. There, he and hundreds of other people descended, claiming to be the descendants of Hyuksu and Baeksan. Sangjae is usually depicted as a wise old man with a flowing beard. Delnim, sister of the sun god, Himsu, is the moon goddess in the Korean pantheon. She has 2 different origin stories. There is one mythological tale where she climbed so high up that she reached the moon and ended up becoming the goddess of the moon. In another myth, she and her brother were trapped on a tree while running away from a tiger. She then prayed to the heavens, and a rope came down from the sky and pulled them both to safety, and that was how Himsu and Dalnam became the sun and moon. Jo Wangsan is the goddess of fire and the hearth in Korean shamanism, who can be seen as similar to the Greco-Roman goddesses Hestia. As the goddess of the hearth, the rituals dedicated to her were generally kept alive by housewives. Traditionally, Koreans believed that the goddess would see everything happening in the home, and alert the heavens if the taboos were violated. The 5 taboos was: don't curse while in the hearth, don't sit on the hearth, don't place your feet on the hearth, maintain the cleanliness of the kitchen. Bari Gongju, or the Abandoned Princess, is known as an underworld guide. She leads the souls of the dead to their resting place. Bari Gongju traveled to the underworld in search of the elixir that could cure her parents, who abandoned her. Since she was the only person who traveled to the underworld and returned, Bari Gongju was made a goddess who could move between the two worlds. And her sons became the 7 stars constellation. Himmasu, or Hinam, is the sun god in the Korean pantheon. He is said that have a chariot pulled by 5 dragons, went down on the earth to listen in human affairs, and then ascend back up to heaven on sunset. Himmasu desired to take one of the 3 daughters of Havoc, god of water, and was the elder daughter, Yua. When Havoc heard of this, he was enraged that Himmasu did not follow the proper ceremony of marriage, and brought disgrace to his house. An official ceremony was held, but the girl escaped before Himmasu could return to heaven. Later, Yua was impregnated through a ray of sunlight by Himmasu, and the child she bore was Chamong. Korean gods and goddesses are defined by their powers over the primordial elements of life, water, fire, air, and earth. They can be benevolent and gentlest gods, but can show vengeance for those who have bad intentions. Their beauty are unique, shiny, being completed by wisdom.